We bought this van with one aim, to make it a practical adventure vehicle. Last week we've done some of the basics, taking the ply lining out, starting the insulation and sound deadening. This week we're going to work from the roof downwards. Roof rails, rear spoiler, windows, sidebars, front grille, all that stuff's going to get completed this week, along with some carpet lining inside and some minor electric works just to pull some cables through. So that's a breakdown of what we're going to achieve this week. Let's get cracking with it. First job, roof rails. This should be a simple 5-minute job. Watch how quick and easy we can do it. This should be the easiest thing we put on this van, fingers crossed. It is the roof rails. There we have them, nice and simple, black, bolt on, extra. First thing is, on the roof of these, there's 6 of them either side. Allen key, take it straight out. That's going to give us access straight into the roof frame. There's 6 of them either side, 12 in total. We're then going to be putting the roof rail on, new bolts which they've supplied with washers and Loctite. They're going to drop through there. When they're all nipped up nice and neat, black cap on, bang, job's a good one. I think this is going to be the easiest job we ever do on the van. That's why we've rushed to get this part done first, and it'll change the look of the top of the van also. So let me get my fingers ready and start work on installing these, and hopefully in a matter of minutes they'll be on and you'll be able to see what difference £100 makes, because these were about 100 quid for a kit. Very cheap, very easy to fix, and it's going to change the looks. So anyway, less flipping yapping on, let's get on to it. So I've rushed ahead. You don't need to take all the bolts out. That goes on there like that. On there like that. So you only take 3 of the 6 out, and it's the most rear ones, not the front one, the back one, all set. So we'll screw these back in, and then we need to fill the holes that we've made with them, because the screw's going to go through. It's going to have a little void, and we don't want any water getting in, dripping through the roof, so drop that in there. When we drop the bolt through there, we're going to have to put some silicone in it, so that if there's any water gets underneath here, it's not going to leak through the thread and go in that way. Which I'm sure it won't, but there you go. Anyway, this has now turned into the longest job of the van, boys. What the f***'s gone on with this? Round 3 is silicone. All tubes of silicone there are rock hard.
Did you ever need any sealants, or?
Well, what's it on there for then? For fun? I've still got it wrong. Struggling with instructions today. This has got to be the video I've ever done. Where's my socket set? Welcome back. So that side was an overnight job. Took about 12 hours because I didn't read the instructions properly. But I now know what I'm doing. So, first thing is, we've got to take 3 of the roof fixing caps out. The driver, or the front one, you're taking the second one out. The middle of the van, you're taking the second one out. But the rear of the van, you're taking the first one out. So what we're going to do, take these out, wipe the area down, because there will be some sludge and crap underneath there. And then we're going to fill the holes with the silicone. So when the bolt passes through with the Loctite, it's going to seal everything going through. If not, we're going to end up having a drippy roof, which we don't want. So hopefully this time it should take 5 minutes, not 15 hours. Keep watching. So we're doing this with all the 3 holes, 6 holes in total for both sides. We're just cleaning the area down. In here, if you get it in close, there's a rivet up, then there's a recess, because there's just like a double skin. We want to just be putting the silicone in between that double skin, because any water will then go in between there, rust, come through the roof. We don't want that. So it doesn't have to look pretty. We're just going to fill that hole up. Something like that. Then the bolt will pass through it. So we're going to work our way backwards, do the other 2, and then we'll go and talk about the roof rail. Oh, I could ice a cake, couldn't I? Anywho, that's a mucky job. Let's go around and have a look at the rail. So these rails fit, but they need a little bit of bending when they're on there. Just a little bit, manipulation. One thing not to forget though is it comes with this little foam foot here. It only goes there because the other 2 feet are bigger. That's just because there's a little gap between the van until you suck it down. That pad technically disappears under compression. Make sure you stick that on first, because trying to get it underneath when you've got the silicone on, you're going to make a mess. But we're going to take this around the front now. We're going to start putting the front bolt in. Now there's 3 bolts per reel and there's 3 different sizes. So what we've got is at the front is a 50, which is that one. At the rear is a 40, and in the centre is a 60. So we're going to do the 50 first at the front. So you go that way, I'm going that way, I'll meet you on the other side. I've dropped the bolt through, we can see the thread underneath. Comes with its own Allen key, which is great. I'm going to start that off, about 4 turns, just to get the thread started. And we're going to work our way back. We don't want to tighten one down because the rest will not fit. You want to go get them started and get enough thread through, because there will be a bit of tension put on these bolts. You don't want to cross thread your riv nuts that are already in your roof from the factory. So what do we say for the middle? 60s for the middle, the big ones. So lift it up again, pass the bolt through, Allen key in position. That's started off nicely. Then we're going to go and get the back one in. As you can see, there's a gap. Needs a little bit of manipulation. Not much though, but we're going to get there. But that's why you don't want to tighten the front one down, because you'll have no chance getting this in. So we'll drop that through. The Allen key is located on the bolt. Is it? No? Now it is. I'm going to push it over, find out where the hole is. Somewhere about there. And this one, because I know that everything's lined up now, we're going to nip this one up now and work our way back. Don't go overly tight, thinking that you're world's strongest man, because them are just thin sheet riv nuts in there, and they may start to come loose. Enough's enough, you'll know when. Same with this one. Work our way back. You'll see it all compressing down and the rubber feet forming the shape of the van. But the reason for that silicone is, if any water gets underneath there when you're driving, it'll find its way in, and we don't want that. Is it tight enough? I'm happy with that. Last job, 3 little rubber bungs, just to cover up them holes. Just fiddly, lovely job. One in, we'll work our way backwards again, up and down the van. There you are, all you need is silicone, cork and gun, and read the instructions. Should take you around about 20 minutes. So there we have it. Stage 1 of the external upgrades complete. Roof bars fitted to the short wheelbase. These were from Trade Van Accessories over in Nottingham. It's about 7 miles from here. Visited them yesterday, bolted them on. Should take you no longer than 20 minutes. And they cost £90, £94.99 for the pair. And all you need is silicone, a little tube of silicone, squirt it in the holes, bolt it on, comes with the Allen key. Very easy, and I think it looks great already. But they're going to have a purpose to mount our solar panels on, fingers crossed. But what do you think? For £94.99 in 20 minutes work. I think it's a good job. I'm very happy with them. Don't know what we're doing next, because we've got a list of stuff getting delivered or already being delivered. But this is going to start changing rapidly over the next few days, and it's going to start looking like what I envision in your mind. But yeah, orange short wheelbase Sport Transit Custom accessory #1 installed. So, quickly moving on with the conversion. I've took the bulkhead out, and I want to talk about this quickly because this all links to what we're doing. I need to run the cables through and behind the bulkhead, because we've decided not to put a swivel on the passenger seat. I'm going to store as much as possible of the electronics and batteries underneath that seat. It's a massive area, it's really good. The bulkhead as well at the lower part, because there's a 2-part section, does have an access panel on the Transit Customs. I want to keep all that. It's already there, let's use it. But I want to open the space up in the back. Obviously I'm going to have people travelling in the back, we can't lock them in like a prison, so we're going to make a picture frame. So anything inside the green lines, that is going to come out. I'm cutting that now. I've pre-drilled the corners. I'm using a metal jigsaw blade, because what we're doing is cutting through the carpet line on the inside as well, so the whole thing comes out at one, and then we're going to re-carpet it so it looks nicely finished. But that is going to be sort of the hole we're going to gain in the back of the vehicle. This part here isn't really seen because the driver's seat's here. Passenger seat's going to be here, but it means we can turn around, obviously talk to the kids or whoever we're transporting, and it's going to give a lot more light into the vehicle, but it is going to keep everything nice and strong around that area. I didn't want a massive opening, I only wanted this part, and when it gets in the van you'll understand why I've done this when the seats are sitting in front of it. So now we're going to get cutting, get this out, tune back in. Once it's all cutted out, now you can see exactly what the hole looks like when this is removed. So that is that cut out. When you're cutting anything with contours in, be very careful, especially with a jigsaw. You've got a short blade, remember it's coming up and down, it can skip over the top of the material and bounce out. So you've just got to be nice and gently, take your time with it. That is what we're removing. And that's going to be the opening in the van. Looks a bit strange out the van, but when that's carpeted in and the lower panel's on, you'll understand why we've done it. People will normally take the bulkhead out if they're putting a single passenger seat, then they can come round and get in. Or if you're fitting swivel bases for the front seat to swivel around, that's when the whole bulkhead needs to come out. We aren't doing that because we're going to need some fixing points here for something special right at the end of this build, which is going to be quite good, especially for the kids. The kids are going to love it. But yeah, stay tuned for that. There is a reason behind why we're doing all this. Don't want to disclose it just yet though. But yeah, if anyone wants a bit of metal, you can have this because this is going in the scrap bin now. When I'm washing windows. So this is where we're going to be cutting out windows. This is the big job. Everyone gets a bit scared and goes, oh, I'm cutting a hole out my van. You can't go, well you can go wrong. But you've got to do something really silly to get it wrong. The best thing you can do is prepare nicely. I'm drying everything off. I'm going to stick more masking tape, a bit of cardboard off here. When we start cutting the window out, you do your top first, a couple of bits of masking tape on that to hold the panel in, because when you get around here that panel is going to fall out and scratch all your van. That's the big thing. The rest of it is pretty self-explanatory, but we're going to jump inside and show you what you need to do. Windows, as you can see, we had the clips in for the factory fitted ply kit. We've removed them, they just literally slide on and off. We'll remove them. Next thing is this brace. This is bonded onto the outer skin. I've already chopped the sliding door one off, but it's glued on to that. That's to make this stronger and to stop that flexing. And I suppose it's supposed to be a bit of a deterrent from someone cutting everything from the outside to break into your van. But anyway, so that gets chopped out. All I've done is mark that line with that line, straight edge, straight edge. We'll cut that out now, and that literally just peels off. Once we're at that stage, we're at the no going back stage. But we'll get this done first, then we'll start talking about the big job. People will be going, hey, seatsy seats. Yeah, the seats are going to get retrimmed. You can cover them if you want, but them sparks that's coming off there, by the time they reach the seat, are cool. People will go, he's doing it all wrong. I ain't bothered. This is the way to do it. I've had one of these in my hand since I was 15-year-old. I'm 37 now, so just bear with us. And there you go. Take the support out. That's part one. Part two is we're going to be cutting out here. It's already give you a line where to cut. Don't bother cutting down here because your window ain't going to fit. You're going to end up with a hole. Follow this. End of the day, this and this is the same panels that are used in the Tornado vans where they've got windows in. They're here for a reason. They're a marker. Cut that out. The window will come out. The other one will fit in nicely. That's what we're going to do. People have various ways of doing this. Some people will get a centre punch and start punching a couple of holes to join it up, so on the outside you can see the dents to copy from. Some people will get a hole saw for the different radiuses and put a hole saw in. That'll take your corner away for you, and then you can just slit along there. I don't know what way I'm going to do. I'm probably going to opt for the hole saw, I think, and get them corners in, and I can grind up to where I need to be and dress it off. I think that's what I want to do. So let's go get the tools. So I've opted for simple tool use. Same size holes all the way around. Cut out as much as you can with angle grinder. Try to show this so anyone at home can do it, and it's not that scary. When we get to this stage, we're then going to get a grinding disc or grinding pad, and then we're just going to grind this flush to this line all the way around, and then we'll move on to the preparation work. But I'm going to cut the other window out, the sliding door, get all the cutting done, and then we'll do all the grinding together. And then we'll do the sealing, which is putting a bit of edge prep on there just to stop any rust and stuff. So we're going to jump onto the next window, but now we've got a little bit of light in, which is good. But it's very simple to do, just take your time. Hole saw, 4 corners, join it up with a slitting disc. Out. Next one. That it took me just over 1 hour to cut both windows out. We've filed everything back, we've sanded it back, that's ready now. Just to prep the edge with a bit of paint to seal it for any rust. This will be getting a rubberized strip on the outside, and then it's going to get carpeted on the inside. But with basic tools, it took us just over an hour, cut both of them out, ready for the window insulation. But before that, we're going to run around the back now. Well, not run, but we'll walk. I'm just going to strip a couple of more of these panels off. There's a panel there, we're going to get that covered. I'm going to take the door stairs off, because the worst, I hate this carpet lining business, but we're going to carpet line each side now. We're not doing the sliding door, we're not doing the back door, obviously we're doing the panels, but we're going to get that carpet lined, and then put the windows on. So we're going to stop the window insulation for now, do this. I'll show you what we have done, because it's creeping in the background. We've carpet lined that, well I have, over the weekend. So we've done the back face of the bulkhead, we've cut that wall out. It's going to have an LED light strip running along the bottom, shining up. I don't know if I'm going to link that in with the courtesy lights or its own switch, most likely the courtesy lights. I've also done the bottom panel's been done. I've installed a high output USB-C with a voltage meter just there, just because it's easy to have. The batteries are going to be around there anyways, so that's going to link straight into the 12 volt sort of bus fuse box. But we've done the outside, we've done the inside, so that's what you'll see from the front when you're looking at the windscreen. That's what you see from the back. So both bits have been recarpeted, glued back together, the bottom bit's been done, so when we're looking there, it's still going to have a bulkhead, but enough of it open so the kids can see out, let the light in and everything else. But you're going to have to leave us now, because I'm onto the job I really hate, which is the carpet lining using the 4-way stretch carpet. It's a horrible job. Come back and hopefully I've not made a mess of it. This will take longer than cutting the windows out. More insulation, here we go. Because our boards that come with the van were that good, I've made some templates out of cardboard. I'm going to put some of this 6mm insulation on these boards, because then I'm going to suede wrap them, which is then going to thicken the board up, insulate it, and have a better touch feel, if you know what I mean, when it's on. So that'll be looking like that, then it'll get fully wrapped, use the original fixings and everything. I'm going to try and keep the van looking as close to OEM as possible. It's not going to go for a luxurious camper van look. This is going to be a bit of a rugged vehicle where we can throw bikes in it, parts, tools, everything, do you know what I mean? So I'm going to try and keep it OEM. If I damage one of these panels as well, I can take it off, make a new one. Simple as that. if we use a massive panel, you've got to take everything out to replace it. These literally will pop on and off the way it come from the factory. So that's the way we're going for it. But I don't want to throw this MDF out. Technically we should make it out with some 6mm ply. I don't want to. I'm going to keep it out of the MDF. I'm going to put some 6mm insulation on just to make it thicker and a bit more of a padded touch. So I'm going to draw around it, cut around it. I have just found an old tool. So instead of using the scissors or standing knife, this will whip through straight away. Completed. I'm not taking the glory for these. Grace has done these. I've done the easy work. She's pulled all the suede around, made sure it all goes the right way. And she's done all the panels. I've just got to punch the holes in when we pre-fit them. But them are the original Ford. I've still got Ford stamped on the back of them. But they're ready to get installed once I've done that horrible job in there, which I want to get Grace to help us with as well. Right, just before we jump into the carpet lining, I've took everything off that I don't want to get full of glue or carpet over. I've now started running the main electrics. This is going to be a basic electric setup. I've been on the phone to Batteries and Solar today. They're a customer of ours, we're a customer of theirs. They're sorted us out with a solar package. It's going to be two 200-watt solar panels on the roof. That's going to come down and run everything. I have a lithium battery, 200 and something amp, can't remember off the top of my head. All that's going to go underneath the passenger seat, so all the wires are going to run back into there. So before I start the carpet lining, I've run all the cables through. So we're going to have a cigarette lighter and USB socket there, and on this side we are going to have a USB socket there, I think. But I'm going to put the cable in. If not, we can always tie it away. I've ran the cable for the LED light for the bulkhead. That's going to connect into that plug up in that corner, which turns these on. So when we open the sliding door or the back doors, that's going to illuminate up. The only thing that I haven't pulled in is the solar cables, which will come through the roof, down that centre channel and along, but we can do that after. This is what we're going to use. Very simple, very cheap. Does the job for what we need. Open it up. So you're going to have all your neutrals in there, positives or loads. That's then going to get fused with the right fuse. If the fuse blown, it's going to light up there. It's a simple box, but for basic 12 volts, USBs and stuff like that, that's very simple. All the high-end stuff's going to come with a solar panel kit, which is going to be linked to the Bluetooth phone, Victron unit, I believe it's going to be. So we can monitor what we're pulling in and what we're drawing from it. But technically that's where everything's going to go into. All these cables are going to get mounted into there. Hopefully, how many hours we've got left? 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to say that's enough. I'm going to go and get working now. Come back in 3 hours. Let's see how far we are or aren't. We're back after them 3 hours, and it's fair to say I'm not very good at carpet lining, but we've put that suede panel in to make sure it's going to cover some of my cock-ups. It's took us over 2 hours to put that one side on in one piece, but I'm happy with it. You need to remember as well that when you're doing carpet lining like that, probably 70% of it's hidden with panels, especially that side. If I was putting the kitchen would cover 90% of it, but I like it to look as good as I can, and I think I'm happy with it, put it that way. That was the hard side. This side's still to do, which I'm not looking forward to. But I'm going to crack on with it because this is the job I've hated. So I want to get it finished and I can step back and go, at least that part's done. But as it stands, the suede panel's in. That's going to look nice when it's all clipped into place. And yeah, I'm happy with it. So, not as much done as I wanted to do today. I overestimated and I didn't achieve what I wanted. But tomorrow's a new day. I'm going to stop back a bit. So when you come back, let's see what I've done. I might have fell asleep or I might have cracked on and got a bit more done. Stay tuned to find out.
1 eternity later.
Wow. It was a late night last night. Carpet lining, horrendous. I'm not very good at it and I think it's really, really hard to do. Anyway, I've managed it. That there was easy because it was off the van. That looks great, not one mistake, perfect, job's a good one. This has been a nightmare. I have made a couple of cock-ups, it's really hard. Once it stretches, there's no going back. There might be some hints and tips and all the rest of it. Fire the matters, because I will be doing some more vans. And as it stands, I am not doing another carpet lining in a vehicle, period. But it was a late one last night. Coming today, I've pulled the electrics through, we've joined them up, we've put some insulation, recycled bottles, as you can see behind here. Talking through the electrics that we've got in, we are keeping it minimal, basic, to do what I needed to do. So at the back here, we have got 2 USBs. Under here, a volt, tells us what the voltage is. It's currently running off a little Milwaukee battery, just to make sure everything's connected. We haven't pulled any wires out. Cigarette lighter, that's going to be for our power bank or fridge. On the other side, in exactly the same position, just so we've got access either side, we can have 2 lots of whatever going on. Red button is the death button, that blows it up. Only can, no, that's for the rear light. So I'm gonna have, I'm planning on having 2 1-meter-ish LED strip lights that way, and another 2 in front. That's going to be controlling the rear ones. There'll be exactly the same switch up front to control the front ones, depending on where you are, sliding forward and back. Do you need lights at the back? No, knock them off. We've also got some fast 65 watts USB chargers on either side. They fit lovely in the little groove in the vehicle. All that's fitted in. I'm buzzing with it. It's starting to look nice. Unfortunately, we can't finish these because the panel pins that come from factory are too small. So I've ordered some from Amazon around about 12mm longer. Today we are going to move on to the Caravan's pocket storage for the sliding door. So we're going to get that fitted in a minute. The windows, I'll show you them. We started them yesterday, and this is what I banged on about. You can't do things in stages. You can, but in my opinion, you don't do them right. And I know there'll be plenty of things I haven't done right in here. Everyone's opinion matters, blah blah blah. We'll carpet lined it, so we took the carpet on the inside here, then we'll put the rubber seal on there, then we'll put the sealant on and stick the window on. I haven't done that yet because I'm ran out of the heavy duty masking tape that we're going to tape the window up with to stop any drooping. Should be a nice even gap round here. From this side, it's looking really good. That's landed in there. That is the world's first single benchy RS sliding rail system. This is going to be its own unique layout. Hopefully my vision is going to look as good as it looks in my head in real life. That's been laser cut and bent this morning. Test fitted loose, so everything's still loose. It's going to come out, get cleaned up, welded up in the paint shop. I'm going to insulate the floor, and then I'm going to drop it back down and then start getting some fixing points in between everything else we're doing here. But we're now going to move on to the Caravan's sliding door storage pod. Let's do some unboxing. Ford Transit custom sliding door storage pod supplied by Caravans. Let's unbox it, see what it's all about. This should be, like the roof rails, a 5-minute fit. Voila! And there we have it. That's going to fill in all the apertures of the door. Bang! And it's just fixed on with the same panel pins that the panels are fitted on. It should be that easy, there's no instructions. There's no instructions, like. So let's see how it fits. I'll meet you around the other side. It fits like a glove. Do you want to come round here and have a look, Mr. Cameraman? Let's see if we can get these holes lined up. Like I say, zero instructions with this because it's that easy to fit. Out the box, get your panel pins, line your hole up, somewhat like that. Lovely job. I'm going to open the sliding door in a minute, I think. That's a fella. Get that one in there. Bang. It's not bad, that, is it? I don't know how, I think it was about 170 quid this for a bit of plastic. People go, that's a lot of money. Storage is key in camper vans. It's quite strong as well, like, to be honest, and it finishes that door card off. You don't want sway panels all over, especially on this door that's getting ragged about all the time. We have got this panel here that was plastic. We've wrapped that in suede as well. Let's go. I'm just going to throw the panel pins in, clip that back in, and we'll see what it looks like. That is it. Quick fix. How long do you reckon that took? 5 minutes? Yeah. People will complain it's a little bit expensive, but excellent quality, easy to fit, loads more storage in the van. For me, it's a winner. Officially tired. I'm having a quick tidy up. That is enough on this van for now. As you've seen, from a panel van, it's come along a long way. It's not your factory conversion that a lot of people are doing. It's my conversion with a twist. So it does take a bit longer, but I'm really happy with the progress I've made so far. But as it stands, my knees are sore, my back's hurting, and I need some rest. Keep watching, because like you've seen, there's going to be big changes very quick. And hopefully, we're going to have a little camper van very soon.